name's Olaf, and I'm from Spokane, Washington. I've got my 2022 BMW R1250GSA behind me, and we're going to take you on a little tour of the country. I'm 58 years old, retired military, been married 35 years, just celebrated my 35th anniversary to my lovely wife, Jonna. And I'm getting ready to do a Four Corners ride next week. Going to be departing out of here and going to Madawaska, Maine, Key West, Florida, down to San Diego, and then to my 40th high school reunion at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon. And then from there back up to Blaine, Washington, and then back home. 27-day trip starting next week. And I'd like to take you along with me. Today, we're going to do a ride from the top of Mount Spokane. I'll turn you around a little bit. That's looking towards Idaho and Montana. Down towards Spokane Valley. And then down to Spokane right there. Today, we're going to head off, go towards the desert, Grand Coulee Dam. Then we're going to go down to the Palouse Falls, way down south. And then you can't see it, we're going to go atop the Steptoe Butte in the Palouse, and then back home to Spokane. Anyway, it's going to be a beautiful ride, and it's a prep ride for my departure for next week and getting this video ready. And I'll talk a little bit more about myself while I'm doing the ride. All right, hey, let's have fun today. All right, folks, we're coming into downtown Spokane, riding on I-90 westbound on our way to Grand Coulee. And just coming through downtown, we'll be off to the right. You know, Spokane's a beautiful little city. I love it. It's just the right size for me. It's big enough with a lot of restaurants and nightlife, and but not too big, which you can't get around. Right over there is Sacred Heart Hospital. I spent a lot of time going there. I'll talk about that. Got Deaconess over here. Oh, there you go. There's downtown Spokane. Beautiful little city. I love it dearly. My family and I came here, and another GS. Came here in 2006, and that's when I was still in the Air Force. Came here to be the Director of Operations of the 22nd Training Squadron at Fairchild Air Force Base, which is the Air Force Survival School. 1 year of that as a DO, and then I fleeted up to be a squadron commander of the 66th Training Squadron at Fairchild Air Force Base. That's also at the Survival School. And 2 years after that, I ended up going to Afghanistan for a year as an advisor. Came back, Deputy Group Commander in 2010 to 2011. And then we moved to New Jersey. But ultimately, when I retired from the Air Force in 2014, we came back and settled down. So I've been lived here from 2006 to 2011, and then retired here from the Air Force in 2014. Jonna and I have two sons. One is going to be 30 this year. He's a captain in the Army, military police, stationed at Fort Drum, New York. On my Four Corners ride, we're going to stop there and visit him, his wife, Haley, and his two boys. My younger son, Eric, just graduated medical school this year. Him and his beautiful wife, Elizabeth, are stationed down at, he's an Army doctor, stationed down at Fort Eisenhower, Georgia. He is just starting his residency to become a orthopedic surgeon. He's got 5 years to go through that. Very proud of both my boys, and look forward. And we're also going to go. I'm going to go visit him on this Four Corners ride. Him and his wife Elizabeth, which I'm looking forward to. So there's a little bit about me, and we're coming back out of Spokane. I'll catch up with you a little bit later. Okay, folks, heading out of Spokane to the west. Thought I'd talk about my military career, which I started as a private, United States Army active duty, combat engineer, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And then, lo and behold, 30 years later, disappeared, and I retired as a full colonel in the Air Force in 2014. How the time flies. Absolutely love my career as a combat engineer, enlisted man. Learned so much from the NCOs. Also worked like field artillery and armored cav, and just absolutely a great time. But in 1990, I was commissioned Army ROTC Medical Service Corps to fly the mighty Black Hawk medevac helicopter, which I did for 6 years. But in 1996, I was able to transfer to the Air Force to fly combat search and rescue H-860 Pavehawks, which were super fun. I had 18 more years in the Air Force. During that time, I also flew an Mi-17 in Afghanistan. That's a Russian helicopter, and I flew as an advisor over there in 2009 to 2010. But all good things must come to an end. In 2014, on a Friday, I retired. On Sunday, I showed up in Louisiana to learn my new helicopter, EC-135 for Metro Aviation out of Spokane, Washington is where we was based out of. Love the EC-135, fabulous helicopter. But things change again. In 2016, Life Flight took over our company, and I was asked to switch over to fly the Augusta 119 helicopter, which is a fantastic helicopter itself. Fast and sleek, and just had so much fun flying it, as much fun as my motorcycle. I've got it right up here. I'll show you a medevac mission that we did up north of Spokane to pick up none other than a motorcycle accident. People ask me all the time, you fly Life Flight, how could you go out and ride motorcycles? You see what can happen. Well, it risks in everything you do. Flying helicopters, skiing, snowboarding, other things I love doing. Just got to be smart, and I hope to be smart enough not to get hurt. But I tell you what, I love my career, my whole career up to this point. And my off time, I spent a lot of time riding motorcycles. So let's move on to Grand Coulee Dam. All right. So there's Grand Coulee Dam. And if you ever get a chance, summertime, we took our kids here, and they get a white stream of water come down through the whole face of the dam, and then they do a laser light show on the stream of water. The entire face of it's covered, and it makes it like a screen. And then they have laser light show that does just a really impressive, cool thing to see with the kids. Anyway, gonna be heading back up. Next stop will be Dry Falls Dam. We're gonna go through Banks Lake. I'm gonna try to get a video going of that. That's really beautiful. And we'll talk to you in a bit. Bye-bye. Okay, we're at Dry Falls State Park, and doesn't look like much of the falls right now, but what it was, there was a massive dam, a glaciated dam in Missoula, and back in the Ice Age, and miles high of a glacier, and it broke free, and all that water rushed down and formed really what eastern central Washington all is. It's all been just decimated by the world's largest flood, apparently. And pretty beautiful to see. And this is Dry Falls State Park, and one of my favorite places to come visit. There's some really cool lakes to go swimming in down there. Hope you get a chance to visit. All right, talk to you in a bit. All right, made it to the Palouse Falls. Last time I was here was about 9 years ago. Water was raging quite a bit more. And right down there on that point right there, I landed my helicopter. I had to medevac somebody who had tripped and fallen down there. And that was one of my cooler flights. I'll try to find that picture and share it with you. But just out of the middle of nowhere. I mean, look at this place. It is really cool, especially when you get here in the spring and the water's still really rushing. Pretty good. Anyway, welcome to Palouse Falls. Okay, guys, so we're just coming up in the Steptoe Butte. We went to Palouse Falls, now we're at Steptoe Butte in the Palouse Scenic Byway back up in here. And off to the left, you're going to see Steptoe Butte. And we're going to go up to the very top. So I've told you a little bit about me, my family, my background. And so now I'm going to tell you what it is exactly I'm going to do. What is next week on 25 September, I'm taking off on a solo motorcycle trip around the United States, the Four Corners ride. Steptoe Butte's coming up here in a second. You just see it. I mean, this is the Palouse. It's just crazy. All the wheat's been harvested and everything, but man, I think it's the coolest area. Some people don't like it, but I think it's beautiful. Anyway, so next Wednesday after a night shift, which isn't very smart either, I'm going to take off. First stop will be hopefully Great Falls, Montana. Then it's to Minot, North Dakota, Duluth, Minnesota, Gaylord, Michigan. I'm going to go through Canada to go up to Watertown to New York, where my son lives, Andrew. Then off to Bangor, Maine, and up to Madawaska, Maine. That's the first corner of the Four Corners trip. Once I get done with Madawaska, I'm going to turn back around. We're going to head south and go to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where my sister-in-law lives. Stay with them a night, Kiska. And then it's, here you can really get a good look at the Steptoe Butte. After that, I'm going to McGuire Air Force Base, New Jersey. I've got some friends down there I'll stay with. And then off to Jonesboro, Tennessee, where my grandpa Bruce grew up, and I'll talk a little bit more about him. After Jonesboro, Tennessee, it's down to Augusta, Georgia, or North Augusta, South Carolina, where my other son Eric lives and his wife Elizabeth. After that, going to Jupiter, Florida, just north of Miami, staying with an Army buddy of mine, Javier. Then it's going to Key West, Florida. That's the second corner. After Key West, then it's off to back up north. I'll probably stop someplace north of Miami for 6,000-mile maintenance, and then head up to Fort Walton Beach, Florida with another Army and Air Force buddy of mine, Eric Hill. Stay with them for a night, then it's off to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and to San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, got a lot of friends there. Stay one night there, and then off to El Paso, Texas. Texas is big. Then after El Paso, I'm going to Yuma, Arizona. Then south of San Diego will be the next corner that I'm going to tackle for the United States. After that, I head up, stay the night in Santa Barbara with friends. After Santa Barbara, then it's just trying to get home, depending on how much time I have. Right now, I'm just planning on going to Redding, California, and then to Portland to roll in for my Lincoln High School 40th anniversary reunion. So high school reunion in Portland. After that, I'm going to go up to Blaine, Washington. If I have enough time, I'll hit Port Angeles all the way to that northwest corner. But up to Blaine is the final fourth corner. And after Blaine, Washington, heading back home to Spokane. That'll be about 27 days and somewhere around 10,500 miles. So that's the what and the when next week. Now the why. Okay. Well, a couple reasons. First off, this high school reunion. I was told it was going to be in October 19th, and I said, well, I'm going to ride my motorcycle there. Well, I looked at the dates, and of course I'm going to have to take some vacation time, and said, well, maybe I'll take some vacation time and then do a pretty cool ride. Well, that pretty cool ride became kind of a stupid gesture on my part. Go around the United States. I've always wanted to do that. Now, why have I always wanted to do that? Well, my grandpa Bruce, who was born in Oakdale, just right over here, grew up in Jonesboro, Tennessee, but I'll show you Oakdale. We'll drive through it. He rode motorcycles all over the United States from like 1931 to 1933 on a Harley, and he rode, after that. But everywhere I'd go in the military or my travels, he'd always ask me, well, did you go to this place? Because I went there on my motorcycle, and up here on his motorcycle, and just about everywhere on his motorcycle. So, and I grew up with stories, romantic stories of traveling around the United States on a motorcycle. So that's a big motivator. I've always wanted to do that, kind of follow in my grandpa's footsteps. I've been riding all my life. Started when I was in the 4th grade, so 9 years old. I got a Kawasaki 90. There's some deer. I saw a moose the last time I was here a couple weeks ago. Oh, big RV. See if we'll see a moose again. Oh, there's some deer. Little buck. Hey, buddy. 2 bucks. 2 little forking horns. Okay, so that's a big thing. My grandpa motivated me. Okay, now there's one other thing. A good friend of mine back in Spokane, he says, well, since you're going to be, in this case, making a video, doing a video log or vlog, as I was corrected, why don't you plan on maybe doing a fundraiser of some sort or awareness? And I said, oh man, that sounds like a great idea. So the other reason behind this ride, the motivation is, there's 2 organizations near and dear to my heart. One of them is That Others May Live Foundation. And I'll have a link on our website, a link to their website in here. And every day I'm going to talk about that foundation. And what it is I was an Air Force rescue helicopter pilot, and our motto was that others may live. This foundation was stood up to help children of fallen rescue warriors that have been killed and pay for full scholarships for them. And they've made, you'd have to check on the website, see how many scholarships were actually paid out, but it's a pretty amazing thing. And I've lost a lot of friends, and I'll go into greater detail about that on the trip. So that's one foundation. The other foundation is Global Roots. Global Roots was started by a buddy of mine from high school, Rick Montgomery, and he started helping children in Asia and Africa. particularly young girls. And when I went to Afghanistan in 2009, he asked me what I was doing. He got a hold of me on Facebook and, hey, what are you doing to help the children of Afghanistan? And I was like, well, I'm kind of in a war zone here. I was an advisor of the Afghan Air Force at the time. And well, anyway, he convinced me to end up helping the children, and I'll go into greater detail about that. And I helped them get started in Afghanistan. And to this day, they're still helping children in Afghanistan. So Rick's going to be at the 40th High School reunion. And like I said, I'm going to talk more about global roots, and I'll put a link on the, if I can figure out how to do that. And there you go. So I'm going to have, isn't this cool? This is just so cool riding up here. I will have a link to Global Roots. I'll have a link to That Others May Live Foundation. And we'll talk about more specifics on my rides. That's kind of like what I'm going to do. This is almost like a blog of talking about my experiences in the military and life, and maybe my life flight, being a life flight pilot, because I fly over the Palouse all the time. It's raining up here, god darn it. It's usually beautiful this time of year, but anyway. So there you have it. The whys. So the biggest thing though, above all else, what I want to do with this ride is make it home safe. So if for whatever reason I can't go to a particular corner because of weather, or we have maintenance issues and I have to, stop, I'm going to continue to ride, but I'm not going to do something unsafe. I'm going to try to drive only during the day. I know that's probably not going to be possible, but for the most part. And then I'm trying to limit myself to 500 miles a day. This ride here today is just about 500 miles that I did, kind of checking out my new gear, seeing how it works, new bike. I've done a couple thousand. Actually today has 5,000 miles on this bike I've put on it since I bought it in February. I just got this one. It's my 4th BMW. Oh man, check it out. Even in the rain, isn't it cool up here? All right, well. Okay guys, here's the top of Steptoe Butte. I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty up here though. I just think it's the coolest thing. There's my bike. I know I'm going too fast. You gotta go slower. I'm a better videographer. But the grouping of trees over there, right there, way off in the distance, that's where my grandpa was born. I always thought he was born in Tennessee, but I found out that his dad and his mom moved out here in 1910, and he was born in 1912, and then his mom died and they moved back to Tennessee, and he grew up there. But Spokane's up to the north. We're going to go through there. It looks like I'm going to be going through some rain, and I'm going to hit the bathroom before I go. And just if you ever get a chance, come on in to see how beautiful it is. You can see all the way around. It's nothing but wheat fields. Whitman County, I guess, is the largest producer of wheat in the nation. I know some people in Kansas will probably argue that, but pretty cool. Anyway, there you go, guys. Quick dirty of here, because I want to get out of here before it gets dark and before I get too wet. All right, you guys have a great day. All right, everybody, made it home safe through the rain. The video footage wasn't too good because it rained kind of hard. A lot of things to learn for me on videotaping. I'm sorry for all the jerking around and looking around. And it's a new helmet. It's a Sena 50C, which works pretty good. I'm hoping to add a GoPro video as well to this. But this is literally the very first iMovie I've ever done, and I want to get it posted. So I'm going to post this up tonight. Hopefully I have some good links. I'm going to call it Ride with Olaf. And hopefully you guys can follow. I plan on doing a blog every day of adventures I've had, bad times I've had, good times I've had in the military. And that'll be one of the blogs. And then the other one will be just a basic routing
of what happened during the day on my trip. So the next 27 days starting on next Wednesday. So I hope you join me. I hope you enjoy it. I promise I'll be safe. I'll do the best I can. I'm really looking forward to the ride, but to be honest, I'm kind of scared. I mean, 27 straight days of 500 plus mile riding, it's going to be tough. But like I said, I'm going to put safety as my number one priority and get back home to Spokane on the 22nd of October and go right back to duty. So I hope you follow along. I guess I asked to subscribe if you can, and we'll see you next time. I'll post next Tuesday right before I leave. I'll be on night shift, and then I'll post on Wednesday when I'm departing. Everybody have a wonderful day. Bye bye.